Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Scundered. My name's Teresa Livingstone and this is the podcast about embarrassing stories. And I have an amazing guest today. You might know, actually, you've got so many titles, I don't know how to summarise you, Dave. Dave Elliott's here and there he is.
Hey. I never know what to do at that stage. Like, here he is. Yeah.
You might know him as a stand-up comedian. He's also the host of a long-running podcast, the Sly Guy podcast. Mm-hmm. He's an actor. He's a writer. He's written for Channel 4. Actor. He's a serious actor now. He's a radio host. He's a husband. He's a dad. He's Dave Elliott and he's here. Welcome.
Well, they are a lot of titles.
They are a lot.
Yeah.
What's the best one? You have to. There's only one answer you can say now. If you want to keep your family.
Just dad.
Dad, yes, I'd say so. You're a dad. You're a dad of two?
Dad of two, yes, thankfully. That's two. That'll do me.
What's that like, Dave? You're the first dad I've had on the podcast.
I mean, at the minute, I'm in the trenches because it's summer holidays. So at the minute...
Loving it.
It's tough. We went on holidays the very first weekend of summer and thought, great, that's a nice way to end school. But now we're back, like there's a long summer.
Yes, how many more weeks?
Summer. And it's not like I was talking to I actually saw another dad from the school that my kids go to. Mm-hmm. And it looked like he was hiding in a bush beside a coffee shop in Bangor. And I was like, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, I'm just having my lunch. I'm like, I was like, is it that bad? And he was like, yeah.
It absolutely is, yes.
Yeah. I'm just hiding in a forest away from... I'm like, yeah, I get you. It's like, you know, you see someone in the trenches, I imagine.
It's
you're like, yes.
Intense. But your kids, would your kids have been old enough? No, your kids aren't too old enough that during COVID you weren't doing homeschooling or anything?
No, they were still thankfully young enough. And then one was just born during COVID. So it was like, she just kind of had to be kept there, you know. And the other one was like, just as long as she's breathing.
Just put her there.
Yeah, that's as long as she's fine. And we still didn't even do that, right? The shape of her head. Like, we just left her. It's just like the Elephant Man, God love her. But... But she seems to be all right. She seems to be all right.
She seems to be fine.
But they just, I don't know what it is. They're just loud and constant, incessant. Yeah. And I was chatting to that dad in the forest, actually. That was the thing. We were like, do you remember back in our day?
The dad in the forest. It's where all the dads meet once a day.
It's a good place for us to just end up. But he was like, yeah, like, I don't remember. Like in our day, my dad would have gone to the pub. And I'd have gone with them, and I'd have had a packet of bacon fries and a tin of, or a bottle of Coke that had to do me in the day, and then sit in the car. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. Now they not only they need entertained, they need an itinerary for the morning and the afternoon. One's not enough, and that costs more. It's just wild.
I actually never really thought about it too hard because I don't have children, but as a teacher, I was never happier than the end of June just to see them all out the door, and I never really got why parents didn't enjoy the summer holidays, but I do see it now.
And then that's the thing too, like you can't just let them out in the street because we're all so hyper vigilant about what's out there, and you're like, probably less now than there was in our day.
You've two girls?
Yes.
Do you think you're going to be like an embarrassing dad, or are you going to be, or are you?
I think
they're probably not old enough to get embarrassed by you yet.
Holly's 7 and she's learned to
roll the eyes.
Oh, Dad, you know, and like she said to me there last term when I was leaving her into school, we'd always sort of walk across the playground, drop her off, give her a hug, have a nice day. She goes, Dad, can you not kiss me? And I was like,
she's 7.
And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to be Callie. I will kiss you forever. I will kiss you forever. I'm going to be like Hilary Duff from them. She put a post up and like, oh my God, you're kissing your child on the lips. She's like, it's my child. I love him.
Yeah.
You know, like you shouldn't do that. It's pervy.
Maybe not in the office when they've got their first job.
Yeah, it's fair. Maybe I'll draw a line at that. But I feel my job is only really hands-on until they maybe hit their teens, and then it's like they'll be with mum doing girl things, and they'll come to me if they like need money or something, I guess, and I'll just sit in the room, me and my dog just looking out the window going, what if I
just embarrassing them by breathing,
yes.
Just breathing out and everything, like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, they are embarrassed by me already. Like Holly's in there dancing and all, and if I turn up and she's like, you can't wear that and you can't do it, you know, you're gonna be
it's about what you're wearing and everything.
Yeah, and like
you're quite cool dressed. Yeah,
I mean,
you're a cool dude, Dave.
I mean, it's just how I carry myself. It's not my garments, you know. But yeah,
we had my dad I have several stories of my dad when we were growing up where it wasn't even just, he did extreme things to embarrass us. He would go out of his way, making it his mission. That's why I think I can see you getting to that point where you're just like, this is going to be hilarious. The worst one that ever happened to us was on holiday. And we used to go caravanning, which was painful enough. But 6 of us in a tiny wee caravan down in France. And so we'd all be sleeping in the same quarters, right? So it smelt awful. And my dad would never get into the pool or go swimming or anything. And this one day on the caravan site, he decided, because it was so hot, he was going to have a wee dip in the pool. And we were all like, yeah, like started splashing him and throwing water in his face and distracted him as he was getting into the pool, right? So he was going in front feet first, right? Slipped on the steps and banged the bottom of his back on the steps, right? And was in absolute agony. And we just laid in with the water. We were like, woo! And he was like, get them away from me, get them away from me. So anyway, these other people pulled him out of the pool and he hobbled back to the caravan and went, lay down, right? And we were like, so we were just like, how embarrassing, right? He can't even get into a pool, right? Later that day, we went back to the caravan. He was still lying there with like ice on his back. My mum was like, we're going to have to get a doctor in. So they couldn't get a doctor around until the next day, but we were all asleep in this caravan. The four of us sleeping on one side, him and my mum at the other. And when I woke up in the morning, there was a wee curtain pulled over between us and my parents, and there was a German doctor had been brought in to look at my dad. And all I could hear was this German doctor going, okay, Mr. Livingstone, I can't do a German accent. Mr. Livingstone, could you just take off your pajama bottoms? We'd all just woken up. We were like, what's happening on the other side of the curtain? And he said, yes, you've broken your cock, Mr. Livingstone, right? So we were lying in bed just like, I want to go back to sleep. I don't understand what's happening. And I could hear my mum going, do you mean coxes, doctor? And he went, yeah, sorry, coxes, yeah. So the bone at the bottom of your back, he'd broken it.
I was going to say, is that the first time you found out your dad had two penises?
So it was broken, right? And he was the person who had driven us to the south of France. So he had to drive his family from the south of France back up through England, Scotland, back over on the ferry. So the doctor said, the best thing you can do is sit on a rubber ring in the car, right? Because that takes the pressure off the bottom of your back. And the only rubber ring we had with us at that point was my little brother's, and it was like a Donald Duck one. So it was a ring that had a big long neck, you know, the Donald Duck neck that came up in the middle. So my dad, this was us leaving this campsite. We were all kind of like early, like 11, 12, feeling quite cool. We'd made loads of wee friends at the campsite, and they all come out to say goodbye to us, all our wee summer romances. And there was my dad sat in the front seat of the car with a Donald Duck rubber ring under him and the neck up between his legs, the wee Donald Duck head over the steering wheel. And he was like, Donald's driving, everybody, way off we go. And we couldn't actually look. We couldn't look out the window at anybody. We were so mortified. And that's how he drove us. He drove us home.
This is the problem where it lies in. The man's got a broken back.
I know.
He's got a broken back. Like, I'm scundered by a guy. Oh my days. He's got
that's what it's like. The poor man.
You're lucky he didn't paralyse himself. Trying to entertain you, isn't it?
I know. But that's what's ahead of you. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel terrible for him now because obviously that's horrific. But at the time we were like, I am so embarrassed.
And has he brought that up to be like, remember the time I broke my back and you guys, like,
he brings it up all the time.
Your back,
yeah,
and you
just to be the crowd. I wanted to get in the pool, and that's what happened.
And that's a sign. But you know what? The one time I seceded to your wishes, I broke my back. I would never change.
I'll never do what you want to do ever again.
What do you want me to do? What, take you to go and see Taylor Swift? Remember last time I took you somewhere, I broke my back. All right, you want that again? Be that on you, because I won't see you looking after me whenever I'm in a wheelchair forever. My broken spine.
Oh, God love him. He got a great story out of it, and he loves telling it. So he's fine.
I'm starting to really like. I used to always think my dad, why he's so grumpy all the time, and now I'm like, I'm sorry.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
Phone him up and apologise.
Yeah, I get it. And then like another thing happened that he had, like, he just moans at stuff like I think dads do, and you're like, everything's always a bloody chore with him. And we were at a wedding, and he was moaning, and we're like, oh, here he goes again. I don't feel well. I want to go home. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Scundered.
And then they're like, go get him a wee glass of water and I'll make him feel better. And he's like, oh, thank you. And all carried on for a bit. And I was like, right, he's really pushing us to go home. Don't feel well, sore head. All right, dead on. And eventually we got him home, and he was like still a wee bit like, oh, don't feel good. And the next day we're like, he's still feeling a bit. Eventually got him to the doctor's like a couple of days later, and the doctor's like, oh, you've had a minor stroke. I'm like, oh, well, I feel terrible now. Like, look at this guy. You know?
Throw water in his face.
And I was like, look at you, you're no crack at all.
Get in the pool.
So now I'm like, there's a reason. There's a reason for the misery all the time. And I think I'm just at the point with the kids where I'm like, I love them to bits, but they do just wear you down. Mm-hmm. They just get you. They just eventually you need to decompress. Just to go. I just need 5 minutes sometimes. That's
in the
all.
forest. That's that dad
That's
script.
it. Just he was in the forest eating eggs Benedict, which was the most
Eating eggs Benedict.
middle class dad thing. Just sitting eating eggs Benedict in the forest. It's like a side character you'd meet in a game. You'd be like, what are you doing in here? I'm just taking 5 minutes.
I've got kids, they're on summer holiday.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for being here. I know you had a wee bit of trouble getting here, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Find the place.
But you know what? This is why people say trust your gut. Now again, don't know whether this is a sign of age, but I've been getting more into like looking into microbiomes in your guts and things. Like,
oh yes,
apparently,
yes.
Like, I mean, I don't know if you try to just always feel better by putting different things in your body. I mean, eating different things. I should clarify that. You try to feel better
in all
by
orifices,
putting things
yes.
anywhere I can. But I've sort of I look into that, and you just try to do whatever you can to feel a bit better. So I watched this thing on Netflix, a documentary about your gut health, and I never knew the gut was so important and so linked to your mind and everything else. So I've been trying to do that a bit more and sort of be a bit better with my gut. And I came in here and you sent me the picture of where it was that we were going. I'm like, I do recognise where that is. In my mind, I feel like I've seen that before. I got here.
I've dreamt it.
I think somewhere I know, and I was like, I recognise the heart place, you know, the heart charity. But and I was like, I know that'll be grand. So I got in, I parked where I thought it was. I was like, this is it. I'm here like 50 minutes early. Great. I actually was like, I'll sit in the car because the parking here is only for an hour, so I'll wait anyway. I go just in time. Bingo. And then I made the stupidity of like when you sent the address, it was blue. So I was like, you know, maybe I've got this slightly wrong. So I hit the link and went, do you want to open the maps? And I went, yeah, bingo. It goes 20 minutes away. It's on like basically I think on the way to Antrim. I was like, oops, at least I've loads of time. So I ended up going, and then as I was getting
she's
like,
in Leicester. That's fine.
Like, this is weird. I'm going past the Apple Green going, this doesn't feel like this location would be here.
Yeah.
And then you had sent me the details of the guys they're producing it, and then I put their website, and I was like, I don't know where you use out yourselves. You see, sometimes people like, don't tell our real names, you know. Yeah, so look at Sean, and they were like, no, Belfast. I'm like, this is not Antrim. So then I turned around, came back, ended up in the exact same parking space that I left 45 minutes earlier.
Did you just walk out into the forest?
Oh yeah, but speaking of Scundered, before I got here, there's a pedestrian zone. So I thought, there's a couple of spaces on the street before the pedestrian zone starts. I ended up in the pedestrian zone in my Tucson with a little fisherman's hat on. So it's not a full hat that goes over my head. It just goes to about here. So if you're looking in, you see a heavy set, after his holidays, a bit swarthy guy with a beard and a questionable hat. I looked like I was doing some sort of terror attack in the streets of Belfast. I was driving in a bit, so I had to make sure never have I driven any slower. And I was going, I'm sorry. This is not any sort of terrorist attack, I swear.
Dave, do you know what you look like? You look like a dad in the summer holidays. I think people would have looked at you and be like, he's had a break.
You know what? You should
he's on a mental break.
For the back of the car. It's like, I'm a dad on summer holidays here, and I've lost my mind. So eventually here now, I'm settled. I'm in.
You're here.
I'm feeling good.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah. But that could have been an issue. And then I was getting annoyed at people as well because yes, I'm in the pedestrian zone, but why, when you clearly see I'm trying to move a car, are you causing my reversing meters go beep 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 beep, and that's stressing me out? And then I'm like, going, are these going to be
bloody
these
pedestrians?
People? Are they going to dive in front of the car for a claim? And I just got very stressed. But we're here. And it's good.
He's here. He's made it. See, I've got a wee laptop with me today. This is. I feel like I'm a stenographer. I'm just taking down everything you're saying.
Minutes.
It's nice, isn't it? I've got a wee bit of merch.
I like how you've done that. It's very innovative. It looks very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm tapping on this. Just I don't know if I'll use this in the next episode. We'll see how distracted I get by it. I'll just get on with my emails if you just tell some funny stories.
Just chat away. You know, it's because that's the worst thing I always find. Like, it happened to me the other day. I was recording a podcast, which, by the way, I brought my diary, so I want to get you on my podcast. Oh. But I'm that old school that I like a hard diary.
You have a physical diary?
I like a physical, because there's too many people nowadays that don't put it in their thing, and they don't put this.
No, I know that does irritate me.
Me up. So when it's written that down, and then there's other people who nowadays, especially I find with gigs and stuff, they're like, oh, you've booked them for a gig, and they're like, oh, can I actually go on and jump on first, even though I'm on the headline, because I've been offered a corporate gig and it's more money and blah blah. And you're like, no, just see if you agree to something.
Agree to
just honour it. You know,
it's bad form, is it? I mean, there's some exceptions. I think if somebody offers you like a really big opportunity, like you're going to go on live at the Apollo.
Yes, I was supposed to say stars in their eyes.
Stars in their eyes. Is that the Dave? Is that where you're going? Is that what the goal is?
Like if the offer is there to go on stars in their eyes, yes,
Who would you be?
Pavarotti, but I couldn't do the singing. I would just do the look. I would win when I come on and do this, and then they'd be like singing and be like, I know this.
But I don't even know if the singing matters. It's the best stars in their eyes are the ones where they come out and you're like, Jesus, that actually does look like them.
But I love, like, there's things that I'm really, really into that I don't realise I'm into until I see it. People doing dead on impressions are one thing I love, and another thing are people just doing drum solos. That's the videos I'll watch on YouTube just. And then people doing impressions
of like Phil Collins and someone playing the drums. That would be your head would explode.
It would just be, it would be done. But I actually haven't seen a good Phil Collins impersonator. Actually, that's like,
no.
So I went back for a while and watched a little old Stars in Their Eyes, and I thought a lot of them were shit.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of my last memories of Stars in Their Eyes was a guy won it being Neil Diamond, and I didn't know anything about Neil Diamond at the time. I was like, this guy's boring. And now, literally, Neil Diamond might be my favorite ever. Artist.
And was he like him?
He sounded really good, yeah. But he sang Hello Again, which is probably Neil Diamond's most miserable song, apart from Love in the Rocks, maybe.
I did. The closest I've ever got to Stars in Their Eyes was when I was a teacher. I made the kids do it. We did it as a school show once. But Jesus, the bullying that happened after it, I regret it so much. There was these brilliant kids. This was all boys school, and I convinced these 4 wee boys to be McFly, or maybe it was 3 of them. Or Busted. It was one of those bands. And put had dye in red, pink dye in their hair. And they were all like, Miss, we're going to get slagged. I was like, no, you won't. Everyone's just going to be so blown away by your talent. So I never saw those boys again.
Slagged. Yeah, they ruined their
I don't know what happened to them.
What would have been a good story there would be like, and they actually were busted.
Went on to become.
They are Busted. That's the boys.
I do apologise.
Yeah, I'm going to see Busted twice this year live.
Why?
Well, for a start, Busted are my favourite ever band.
Are they?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And
when you say band, do you mean like as in boy band? Because they're not actually.
They play their own instruments and write their own songs, Teresa. So let's not disrespect them. Yeah, come on.
Hang on. Am I confusing them with McFly?
They also
Busted are the ones that do the jump. They jump up in the air with the guitar. Yep. Now, Dave, come on now.
They're all coming 40 this year, so fair play to them. They're still doing that. I respect that a lot. I respect that a lot.
So Busted is your favourite ever band?
Yes. They are my favourite ever band.
Hold on, I started to hear Busted slander there, and then I just had to jump on to defend.
Is Busted your favourite ever band?
They were my favourite band as a kid.
Can we redefine band here? I don't think of them as an actual band. Who plays the drums?
They have a guy that's a session musician.
Okay.
Does the drums.
The drum guy.
So actually, the drum guy.
Harry from McFly used to be their drummer.
Yeah, Harry J.
Right, at best, they're half a band.
Well, they've got 2 guitars. They've got rhythm, and they've got lead, and they've got a bassist.
Yeah, but there's no drummer.
They've got a session drummer.
Yes, but if he's not in anyway, that's your favourite band. I'm trying to think of one song. Were they year 3000?
Yes.
That's utter shite.
I went to school for. They were.
You said no.
Yes. Which
you said what?
Which was actually no.
You said no.
Which is very important in today's society with consent and everything else. It's a vital message.
Well, what was the rest of the song about? It said you said no and I did it anyway. No, it was the early 2000s.
No, it was I asked you to dance at the disco, but you said no. So despite you, I went and got your mate and went out with her instead.
Yeah, that's the early 2000s. Yes, that's the one I remember.
That was the one that they did. And
one where they were like astronauts or something.
Year 3000 was that?
3000, yeah.
No, you might be getting confused with Stargirl by
McFly, yeah.
Or potentially,
do you know what?
We might be thinking about Thunderbirds, the hit song that
from
went
the
along
movie.
with the reboot of this Thunderbirds movie.
I feel like I'm back at school. I maybe make it. You would be the boys. I'd be like, do you know what we'll do for Stars in Your Eyes? I've got it. Busted.
And I go, thank you. Now you mention that, I did.
Got a more problematic song in their arsenal, which is Our Hostess. Which probably wouldn't slide into that.
I like the way
I doubt most of it would slide. Yeah, look, I'm sorry. Who am I surrounded by? I can't believe that everyone's on board with they're the best band ever.
Now that being said, there's a member of them, Charlie, who's recently formed a band that's getting a lot of attention, President. And everyone's like, this band's so cool. They wear a mask. No one knows who the lead singer is. People are proper in the music. Like these guys.
Now, when you say, does he have a band with actual musicians in it?
Yeah, well, it's probably Fight Star, isn't it, in masks? But he was doing all this, and they're like, these guys, no one knows who the singer is. They released the song, like, oh, it's Charlie from Busted, isn't it?
I remember he was the tall blondie one, the one that they all fancied.
And then Matt Willis and Emma Willis, what a couple. What,
Well, yes,
couple?
okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That's not my criteria for my favourite band.
Yeah.
It's like, who do they marry?
But then again, I think music, right? Everyone's like, oh, no, Busted. But at the time, I was like 15, 16 when they were in the Rip. And a lot of stuff they were talking about resonated with me. And
15, okay, I am the oldest person in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
You were 15 or 16 whenever.
But there was probably guys in school.
It makes more sense now. It makes more sense.
What I go to school for about you.
Of course they
They're
were.
probably like, oh, there she is.
This is...
Yeah. But you know what the sad thing about
No,
that
it was
is?
more like, there she is, and then like throwing something at my head.
When they released What I Go to School For, they had a line like about her being really old. So she's like, but she may be 33, but that doesn't bother me. And now they have to sing 53.
Yeah.
Because they're all older.
They're all 33.
And it would be weird when they're like guys nearly 40 going to school.
I did like McFly. I have to give that. I think they've got some good songs.
Yeah, but there would be no McFly without Busted.
Why?
Because they are the Busted were the guys that sort of opened the door. McFly and Busted are actually...
They opened the door and said, is there a drummer in here?
Mm-hmm. And then McFly stole Harry. Now, that being said, I think it was it Danny? Or was it
Danny
Tom,
was on...
Who auditioned to be in Busted and didn't get it? Maybe Tom?
I'm sorry.
Tom.
Audition to who?
It was Tom.
Tom
Was
auditioned.
Sorry,
Oh my
Tom was
God.
actually the original songwriter for like a lot of Busted's first singles.
Yeah.
So he was like a
Oh.
songwriter to begin with.
Okay.
And so like he wrote a few of their songs, auditioned to be in the band.
Nah.
So they didn't write their songs?
They wrote some of the songs.
Okay,
no,
Especially
look,
James
I'm-
Bourne.
Yeah, James Bourne wrote a lot, and he's written like a lot of musicals and things, and wrote a lot of the first McFly songs too. But apparently, when Tom auditioned, they were like, "We don't want you to be in our band because you're really skinny, but you have a big fat head, and I don't understand how that works." And like it's a weird look because you
Yeah.
have a big chubby
Spoken
fat
like a
face
true musician.
and a real skinny body.
Yeah.
You know? And also
looked
we've
weird
got
back in the
Charlie.
day.
Yeah, it was weird looking.
I don't know what I've walked into here, but
Yeah.
it feels like a support
But
group.
now what's happening? Now I've been to see Busted live before. I've been to see Mick Busted, which is the super band.
Oh,
which
yes,
combined
yes.
Busted and McFly.
Yeah.
And then Charlie realised, actually, now that I'm an older guy, I don't have to worry about being cool anymore. I just need cash to pay my mortgage. So I'm
Yeah.
going to rejoin Busted. And he did. They went back on tour. So I've been to see Busted live before they broke up. I've been to see Mick Busted when they broke up. I saw Busted reunited again. I've been to see a second reunification of Busted, and now
Dave.
it's Busted
And-
versus
but
McFly.
A lot of people are going to see them ironically, but you're just
Yeah.
there like wiping a tear away, just like...
But you know what? They're actually great musicians now, and the music has changed. They've gone a bit harder. They're sort of like a more Blink 182 style live show.
Oh,
It's
as
great.
hard as that?
Yeah, pretty hard. Which, for a quote unquote boy band, is impressive.
Oh my goodness me.
But I like other bands as well, like serious bands like Westlife
Jedward.
and Backstreet Boys. I like other big, musical bands. So-
Musical bands.
Yeah, I like those guys.
The ones who play and write their music.
But you know what? You're going to have egg in your face now because it's a very sweet turnaround moment because Busted and McFly. I'm going on the Tuesday with my wife and another couple who like Busted. My friend who's a big Busted fan and is also now a teacher. So again that. But on the Wednesday, I'm taking my daughter Holly for her first
Oh, no, that's lovely.
because she likes Busted.
Now, to be fair, I'll allow. My first ever concert was my dad and my granny took me to see Jason Donovan. You'll have to ask your parents who that was,
I was
everybody.
going to say I'd be
But
more
that's-
embarrassed about my dad for that than breaking his back for your entertainment.
Went to see Jason Donovan and in the King's Hall.
Oh, see, that's a good old school venue for the first concert.
Yeah. No, that is very lovely. I got confused there when you said we're going with another couple who, and you said who
Have no
are.
taste, are you
No,
gonna
you
say?
said are big busted, and I thought
Yeah.
I forgot we were talking about that band. I thought you were just talking about someone per woman's boobs.
No.
There we are. Anyway,
I'm
I'm
going with
a
another
lovely big
couple of
busted
big
couple.
busted women. I mean, I don't know how
big
happy my
busted
wife would be with that. We're going with another couple of these women with giant boobs. Just don't worry about
I'm
it.
just
It's going
taking
to be
big
fun.
busted women to see the big busted reunion.
Yeah. And I'm going to have my McFly down. It's going to be a great time.
But that's more on brand with busted songs.
Yes,
It is very
yeah.
much like, you
There's
said no.
Some of the newer ones, or they had an album. It was all kind of like synth and electro pop. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Night Driver, things like that. It was
Yeah.
coming home. It's
Like, you're not going to convince me, but you have a lovely time
Yeah, I'm
and make some
really-
beautiful memories with
I'm
your
looking
daughter.
forward to it
No,
now.
that'll be lovely.
Yeah.
That will be lovely. So,
Steps, by the way, was my first concert.
oh, was it?
Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
But that's that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me now that we've just had the whole busted conversation. It said it was something. It was.
I'm trying to think if I've seen any other bands that would maybe.
Have you seen bands, Dave? Now you keep talking to me about pop groups.
Seen
I hate
Robbie
to tell
Williams?
you, Robbie, but no.
Yeah, I'm going to see Robbie Williams actually on the 23rd of August.
Oh, are you? Where's he playing?
Croke
Is he
Park.
doing cat commercials somewhere?
No, but that was annoying too because the last time I saw him live, now this will be the third time I've seen Robbie. he didn't sing any of those cat songs, and I like them now. It's like,
oh, to be a cat. Yeah,
What was funny was Robbie did Rude Box the last time, and my wife said, "You'll never do Rude Box. It's shit." And I'm like, "Rude Box is the best."
I don't even know that
Robbie
song. Is that a later one?
Yes. Okay, now back to basics. Grab your shell toes and your fat laces. Yeah.
Oh, no,
classic.
Not familiar.
But what was very funny, did you watch his documentary on Netflix?
No, I couldn't bear it.
Him and his French friend Guy Chambay, they used to write all the songs together.
Yeah.
And when he left them, he was like,
they had a big bust up,
didn't they? Bust up, but good news is
they're back. Oh, good.
Because I like to see that.
Yeah.
But he was like, I mean, I wrote a lot of songs anyway myself, so I'm going to write some more. And he's like, I think I've got the song that's going to be bigger than Angels. It's going to be bigger than She's the One. This is going to be it. And then he in the documentary, he's like, I'm going to perform it for like the staff of the stadium before we let everyone in. Like, I'm going to show them what this is all about. I'm going to do Rude Box. And he did it, and everyone was like, what the fuck is this? This is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. What even is a Rude Box? And to this day, and then now at the end, he was like, yeah, I might have got that wrong. I think I misread the room a wee bit.
See, I suppose he had all those years writing with that guy.
Yeah.
His name's Guy, isn't it?
Guy. Yeah. I think it's Chambers.
And whenever people say like, oh, this is my writing partner, I just have this image of that person, Guy, writing this entire song, and Robbie just being like, I think at the end I should go, yeah. And just say yes, and he was like, put me on the writing credits.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of feel like might have happened.
Did you watch the movie where Robbie was a monkey?
No.
That was a very good movie.
I have heard that's really good.
I cried.
But I have heard it's a really good film, but I don't know if is it just good for people who like Robbie Williams?
Not really, because I think if you don't like him, you might like him a bit more after this.
As a monkey?
Yeah, because I think he's been like, some people are just sad. I think he's just I don't think he
had a hard time.
Yeah,
take that. He was very young. I did watch. Wasn't there the documentary about them? There was a documentary about them and how they started, and they were just. It was all a bit too much for them too soon.
But then I think it was weird because I think they had Gary initially, and they were like, "This guy's a really great songwriter," but he was already he was like 16 or something, and he was a bore.
He still is.
And wee jumpers, and like, this is a song about my grandmother. And they're like, we need some sexy guys. We need like a wee cheeky chappy, wee cheeky monkey.
Get your arses out, because they were all around the gay bars and everything in Manchester. That's how they kind of.
Yeah. And
do you know what? I was a Take That fan. I have to be honest now. I did, and I saw them in the King's Hall. I am so old. But I've told this story before in a podcast. I went with my best friend at the time, and we had a big sheet that we painted. Take That, Take Us. Right. It's not appropriate at all.
As in what way?
I don't know what we meant, but we
like kidnap you, or even worse,
in whatever they want, whatever way they wanted to. No, we'd no idea what we were doing. So we'd painted it. We'd used blue paint on this white sheet, and then we left it outside her house to dry, and our dog walked all over it. So the second half of it was all smushed, and I was like, well, we're taking it anyway. And from a distance, it just looked like Take That, Jesus. It was all sort of like, so it looked like, I don't really understand what the messaging was, but that's what we brought to Take
if they're running about in all that sort of bondage gear, and you're there in Northern Ireland holding up this, you
just
probably
going,
look like a
repent!
DP. Yeah, it's like, Take That, Jesus. This is
that was very on brand for Northern Ireland, actually, especially in the 90s.
Do you remember their song? What was the one? Do What You Like.
That was right at the start, yeah.
And that was just them rubbing jelly on their arses.
Yeah.
I think that was aimed towards a certain audience.
I think so too. Like, and it worked. And I regret not doing it myself, because I feel like I've maybe stagnated a little bit in terms of building my audience. Well, it's maybe time for the arseless chaps.
Because I've been actually told by a couple of other comedians to maybe aim for like the bear market a bit more.
Oh, right.
Because I would put the odd post up. Like I put one on, and I got just the one, because I feel very strongly about posting when you're on your holidays. I don't like it.
Well, you don't want to see people's holiday.
I want people to go on holidays. You know what I mean? I want people to take a break.
I agree, actually. It does stress me out a wee bit, where I'm like, would you go and relax?
You're like, guys, nobody really, like, no one's going to miss your content for a week or two.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You're not going to fall off. It's okay. Yeah. Relax. But I put a picture up where I was just having a wee drink of a strawberry daiquiri on a sun lounger, and likes lots of gay community support. And I was like, I like this. And then I had a friend be like, you should aim into that bear market because you're. And I would put the odd thing up, and I would get guys commenting stuff under it, and I'd be like, I get more of this than I get any female attention, which is great.
Yeah, start putting that music on. You're like, do what you like.
Maybe I should reenact that video.
Could that be the next Comedians Does type thing? If you do Stars in Your Eyes again.
Comedians do bondage, I think. I mean, I would say.
Would you have a word with Shane and sort that out?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to have to touch him with jelly. It'd be gross. But that would definitely be something. Maybe that'd
be lovely.
Do you ever get to the point where you're like trying to figure out what to do with shows and things?
Yeah.
Like even timings of when you want to tour or do a show. Like now it's August. I'm like going, should I do something in like early next year or do I wait till the end
I
of
know,
next year?
it's kind of hard because in some respects it's good to do something in the new year because then you sort of think, right, people need to buy presents. So getting in ticket sales for Christmas. And I've done that and it hasn't worked. So I don't know. It's hard to know when to sort of. But are you working on a new show? Because you're doing a work in progress,
so
aren't you?
I did a tour last year, which I really loved. I have to say, I did that with David Hull, and I thought he was brilliant.
So this was role model.
So I did role play.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I had a couple of. I see
role play.
Because I had an earlier show called Pillow Talk.
Yes.
Which was literally just about the things that you talk about in bed, not the actual like pillow talk.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll play on role play too, because you think, but it was more just what are the actual rules? Like what am I?
Yeah, well, this was what I was saying at the start of this episode.
I was trying to figure that out. You've got many? Whereas now I'm like, I just don't want to just slabber at my wife and kids exclusively for another hour. So at the minute I was like, and I feel like I don't really, I mean, it's each to their own, but I don't like the pressure of going, I'm going to have to do a new hour every year, because then I think it diminishes the quality of what you're doing.
Completely agree.
And I think that I think we're seeing that a bit now, that it's oversaturated, that people are maybe exhausted going to gigs. So I think I'd like to rather have a good hour. So I'm starting to pull new stuff together. It's less sly about my family, and I feel it's more general about people across the board.
Yeah.
Foreigners. No, I don't. I want just joking. I feel because I look like this, people assume, but
I know. Out on license.
But I actually have to do the opposite now. Like if I see people, like we went to see the circus in Ormo Park the other week, and I noticed that I have my resting face is kind of this.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching the circus and I saw a lady approach in like a hijab, and I thought if she sees me, she's going to think I am not going to like her there. So I went I go opposite, because I do look like Edie Elliott, like
Edie Elliott.
And it's when she came round, I looked at her and I actually stuck with her. And she's probably going, what is this guy?
You're like, welcome!
Yeah. And like, I'm the same as that when I walk the dog in the morning, because Catherine said to me, like, you don't realise how you look. Like,
you sort of do that when you're thinking. Yeah,
I'm like walking along. She was, and like, you didn't realise this because you're a man and you have the male entitlement. You don't realise that sometimes you would be scared if you're out walking at night, if there's a man walking behind you, if he speeds up. And she's like, I would move to the other side of the road and stuff, and I wouldn't be I'd be ignorant to that.
Yeah.
And then when she said to me, it really like went, what the fuck? So now when I walk past like a woman with a dog, I'm like almost I look golden retriever, and
I'm just like this,
you know, and I'm like, good morning, and then they're like, it's 7:15 at night. I'm like, oh shit. So I overcompensate for it. So I think there's that element to it that I think it's it's good to be aware of it. But
absolutely. So I think this episode might go out just before your work in progress.
Oh,
so
nice.
Where are you doing it?
I'm doing it in the American Bar in Sailortown.
Okay.
On the 17th of August.
17th of August.
Yeah, which is
and have you
exciting.
How do you have it written, or are you just trying wee bits out and seeing?
Well, this is the weird thing. So they did the tour last year. Then I did a work in progress about a month later of other stuff. And then so I'm going to filter all that down, and then have more stuff, and I'm going to try to, because
I find it so hard. Like, I mean, talk about. I love that you're like, people doing an hour a year. I've done 2 hours and 10. So
but no,
I find it really hard to let go of stuff that actually does work. Do you know what I mean? Because it does take me a long time to really get something right, and with songs and everything like that. But I find it so hard to just put it all away and have something completely different. But I am that's what I want to do now. I am working in my head. I'm working towards a new show. I haven't done any sort of work in progress or anything.
It's weird. To me, it's like, I don't think I have a set sort of way of doing it. I think like last year I was like, I had no idea for a show. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of came to be. I'm like, yes, great, happy days. Stuff that happened. Like something happened to me the other day that I'm like, I'll make that into a bit.
Yeah.
I was, again, I had read somewhere that if you paint your toenails, it protects them from cracking and stuff. So I was like, you know what, that's right. And then when I obviously looked it up online, I saw like Cristiano Ronaldo does it. And I mean, me and him.
To stop them cracking?
The same guy, yeah. I mean, you get a bit older, your nails get a bit harder, a bit more. So I was painting my nails in my bed, like up in my bed, properly painting my nails.
Yeah.
And the window cleaner arrived at the window. And we had a moment where I was looking at him like
Faulty Towers.
But we had a moment where we both met eyes, and he looked at me to go like, what's he doing? And I looked at him to go, he's not seen me, has he? And it was just a weird moment. And I thought, I need to go and explain to him that I'm only because Cristiano Ronaldo does it, it's good for you. But then I thought, I'd rather have been like naked or pulling a wire myself or something than be painting my toenails. It's harder to explain, you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's something in that, and I don't know what that is, but that'll be a premise now to like, I'll figure that out down the line. Yeah. And then like other wee bits will happen. I'll go, that's a funny bit. Like we went away to a glamping weekend, and the whole thing with it, glamping is like, it is to me catfishing of holiday catfishing when you go glamping. It looks
you see the photos,
online,
yes.
But we ended up being me and my entire family in this little, like, it was smaller than this desk, like all of us trying to fit in and the dog. And then like this really smicked out couple were having a dirty weekend away.
Oh no.
In a pod which was connected to our pod.
Oh Jesus.
And they were just listening to happy hardcore, fighting, beating the head at each other, and then bucking all night. And I was around my kids, and I'm like, that was just, so that experience, I'm like, I'll make something out of that. Yeah. But then I think you have to do things, but then how do you tie it all together?
I was going to say, so do you do that and then step back and try and have tie it all together, rather than, because there might be some people think of, I want to do a show about, especially people, if you're going to the Fringe or you're doing Edinburgh, they'll be very much like, this show is about something.
Like I think like the working title was initially Adventures, because it one bit about I don't like the language people use online sometimes is not real. You know what I mean? Like someone had put this post up being like Weekend Adventures. And they'd just gone for brunch. I'm like, that's not an adventure. Like, that's not what that is.
Go join the men in the forest eating their eggs Benedict.
Get into the forest. There's an adventure. Go out on a boat and in search of spices. Do that. That's an adventure. Come back with fabric. Don't flat white and 4 cheese toasty. That's not an adventure. That's bullshit. So it's things like that. And then I thought, I can't put the whole. And then I had a bit that I was like, I like that. Like, when people post nowadays, oh, so I did a thing.
Oh, I did a thing.
It's always haircut. It's always a haircut. No matter what, it's a haircut. So
or they get engaged. It's usually like, it's usually something big that they sort of go, like, did a thing.
Did you? Yeah. And it's like, but then I sort of think there is that thing where people cannot just do things anymore and enjoy doing them themselves.
Yeah.
And that just grates me, And it's like, it just, so there's that.
But there's a pressure to do that, especially I think in comedy now, you have to be sort of like, anything is content. Get it out there, get people, get their eyes on you, try and get a ticket sold. It's relentless.
But then I also think there's that problem whereby if you're a great salesman, and then you get people in to see a show and the show's shit. I think that the show has to be like, that's fine.
I'm the other way around, just so everybody knows. My show's excellent, but I cannot sell tickets.
Yeah, but that is like,
I'm terrible at selling.
But I think I think it's more commendable. Like, we live in a world now where people's attention spans are so wick.
Yeah.
That it's like almost like there's actual craft that's going into what we're doing, whereas a lot of people would book a show because maybe they've had a viral video on TikTok or something, and then where's the show at the end of it?
Yeah.
Like when I did the tour last year, I was really like, whenever we were doing the venues, I was like, I'm happy to go here. I know it's about like a tour in July, which is an awful time to do it.
Oh, did you?
But it was just to go about like the old school route, to go to some of these, like again, with David Hull, like when he showed me some places, I was like, I'll sell nothing there.
Yeah.
And I'll sell where I'll pick these places and I'll sell. And turns out the places that I picked sold worse than the places he picked. And he had me doing a gig in Cushendun. I'm like, where even fucking is Cushendun?
Yeah.
One of the best gigs I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then I think Cushendun's small. I'll go back there again because they were lovely. They had a great time. I loved it. And I think that matters.
Yes.
Too, to go. And I think there's been times where maybe people have gone to shows and the price of tickets nowadays are so dear that they go, and if they're like, I'm a wee bit underwhelmed by that, I'll not go back. Whereas I think if you want longevity and you want to be able to keep doing it,
I agree.
The show has to be good.
And not trying to, because there's a sort of temptation to try and go bigger every time and sort of get a bigger venue and try and fill a bigger venue. I'd always much rather have a smaller venue that you could sell or sell out, rather than be sitting in a big half empty.
But then also, I think here, I know there's a lot said about, the scene here is amazing and all, and I think it's much better than it was, I do believe, but I do think that maybe it isn't as good as maybe everyone's making it out to be all the time. And I think that now it's become very oversaturated, and I think that you need to almost people are putting more onus on sold out big venue than actually like, because there's never any like reviewers here or critics. It's not like the Fringe, so people are like, oh, that's the measure. And I think,
and there's no in between.
No,
so you're either selling everything out or you're not you're not doing anything. It is difficult, but I've seen it change as well from afar, even though I've been performing for a long time, but I'm never really in. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in the scene, but I'm sort of around it.
Yeah.
And it has definitely improved, and there's so much more. There's so many more gigs now to do, whereas it used to be just really a handful. So that's definite plus. But yeah, I would worry that there's maybe too much sort of like of the same thing kind of happening, and people do get a wee bit sort of tired of it eventually.
It does get boring, and I think like there needs to be there needs to be variations, there needs to be different things, there need to be different lineups, there needs to be, like even like, and again, it's only a personal thing, and it's not a slight on anybody or any individual. And
it sounds like it might be. Here we go.
But no, see when people do solo shows and they've like 3 or 4 support acts, I'm like, that's a club night.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a big show, have one act. You know, and have that, because then you're sort of going, it's taken away from what a solo show is. And then you sort of go, is that down to the way things are now? Because like with TikTok, everyone's attention span has to be this time and has to be, and like I think maybe it's my stubbornness to a degree, but then people are like, you need to put clips up, they need to be this exact length. They're all, and then people are going for an algorithm, and you're like, I know,
because what you do, you lose what's authentically funny about you. Like literally you individually. I have a lot of that, and I battle with that a lot, Dave, about what I think is funny and what I want to do, as opposed to what everything on YouTube will you can watch thousands of clips on how to grow an audience, how to get clicks and everything. But I'm trying, this is my old age talking now, because when I think about the next show I want to do, I kind of want to do a show about just being a silly, clumsy lady in her 40s. And just being silly, because that is what makes me laugh, rather than trying to think. The more I think about like what would other people think is funny, or what will people come and pay to see, then you're on the road to nowhere. You're not going to have anything good.
But I always think about the film Unbreakable, the one with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Who, by the way, for a long time I thought his name was Samuel. Like it was his first name.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. But there's a bit in that where basically, like, I don't know if you've seen the film Unbreakable.
No, I've seen the beginning of it.
Well,
and I lost interest.
Bruce Willis is basically this guy that can't be killed.
He can't break any bone. Oh, he's in a car. Isn't he in a big crash or something?
Yeah, so he's in this big thing and he's no injuries. And then like Samuel L. Jackson's the opposite dude, Mr. Glass. He just breaks the. He would make your dad falling in the swimming pool look like wee buns. He'd break his entire body if he slipped there. So basically, he was like a super villain the whole time. But you thought he was this guy trying to find this guy who was unbreakable, but he only wanted to find him.
Okay,
sorry. I don't want to spoil this 30-year-old film or whatever. My bad.
Well, I haven't seen it.
But he basically was trying to find the antithesis to him.
Okay.
So the opposite, to try to like stop him from breaking all the time.
Yeah.
So he was orchestrating these catastrophes to like and killing loads of people and terrorist attacks.
Oh, I see.
Train crashes, all these things to find whatever.
This unbreakable man.
The big turn in the film, the big reveal was he's a baddie.
Right.
And there's a bit like that where I'm like, you know who the baddies are? It's not the comedians. Because there's comedians you'd watch and go, objectively, they're shit. Or hacky, or I don't like them, but yet they have a massive following, and it's like, it's not their fault. They're doing their job. It's the audience. So if you decide to tailor everything to meet the audience, you'll never do anything. Just do what you think's funny, and then the audience will find.
Yeah,
and be content with that. Be zen with that.
Be zen.
But then, like, there are people there that I wouldn't like to be like obviously you like the money of it all, but I wouldn't like the sort of like the comedians that can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that everyone's, you'd be tortured.
Yeah.
I'd like to just, ideally, and I'd like to just make stuff and have like a,
I just want to live. I just want to live a normal life.
I just want to live in the forest and eat eggs Benedict. That's all I want to do. You know.
Well, listen.
In peace.
This podcast is called Scundered. Do you embarrass yourself often? I don't feel like. You don't strike me. I have heard you tell some funny stories on stage about like going to the doctors and stuff like that. Like that's always embarrassing. But do you feel like you embarrass yourself a lot, or are you kind of?
I feel like
you're very cool.
I'm definitely one for putting my foot in it, and
right, okay.
Rather than extracting the foot, trying to and then just make it and be like, I know, but
rather than just go, sorry, and stopping. You'll make it worse.
Yes, and I feel like one of my 4-year-old has got that from me.
Okay.
So like the other day I was just lying in my bed, my own business, just out of the shower, had my towel on. She came in and like jumped up in the bed and started just pushing my belly. And she's like, why is your belly so big and wobbly, Dad? And I was like, Matilda, that's not a nice thing to say. And she's like, but it is. Like, it is. It is. It's wobbling like when I'm shaking it. Like, mine doesn't do that. I'm like, no. And she goes, but it is. And she's like, Mommy. And I said, what? And she says, yes. She goes, why is Daddy's and then and she thought I was funny. And I'm like, just stop saying that. Like, stop it. And then, like, Catherine thought that was really funny. And then today, she got Matilda. Because she came out of the shower and Matilda was like, Mommy, why are your boobs so long?
Oh, no.
And I was like, ha, there you go. It's not nice with the shoes and the other foot, isn't it? She's like, long? Like, I've heard different descriptions of these over the years, but never long.
Oh, God, love her. I'm sure she'll be delighted you've shared that.
Yeah, but listen, their long boobs are, I've outed them, I outed them a long time ago, so she's all right. But yeah, I would be one like that and be like, just stop talking, Dave, just stop talking. Yeah. And then you're like, I've done it. Like, even right there, probably maybe.
Just there, maybe you shouldn't have said that story.
Those long boobs, but it's kind of out, and you're sort of going. But like, I do think, like, when you say, like, to me, there's no worse feeling than the feeling of real embarrassment. And I naturally just sweat. Like, if something terrible happens, the sweat just pours out of me and I cannot control it. It's awful. Even when I watch films or TV shows, and like Love Island, if it's on the odd time, and I see people talking, I'm like, oh no, I hate
it makes you physically uncomfortable to watch somebody else. Yeah.
Or I hear people's stories and I'm like, oh my God, I can't hear this. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. Like, there was something that happened in, like, again, I imagine that some people have these and some people don't, but street WhatsApp groups. Do you have a street for your street?
Oh, no. Well, maybe there is one, but we're not in it. So.
Well, we're in one, right? And
is it about dog poo?
Yes. And again, I am the guy, like, I think there should be capital punishment for people that don't pick up dog poo, but that's only me.
Well, I mean, I'm the same. I have a dog and I agree.
And I think, if you're good enough to have a dog, you should be able to pick up your poo. And there was actually one day I was out walking the dog and I saw a woman marching another lady up into our street to be like, and because your dog was off. And I was like, I love that from you. Well done. Well done. I love that. But there's a group and the odd time things will come in. There's an old couple who lived just as you come into the street. Mm-hmm. And they had accidentally sent a 3-minute voice note into the group where they were just commentating on what was being said in the group and they hadn't realised it was said. And one of them, like, there was somebody had left, like, I think it was us. We had an old, like, horse rocking chair thing that we had given to, and we were like, we've this old, the kids are too big for it. Does anyone else want this rock chair? Someone in the street had said, yes, our so-and-so will love that. And the old woman was like, and so I say so-and-so, and he goes, so-and-so, what sort of stupid name is that? So-and-so, you wouldn't have a name that stupid nowadays.
Oh my God.
And then they're like, who wants this old crap anyway? They're getting rid of their old rubbish and some tramps trying to take this instead of throwing the bin away. And this went on for about 3 minutes. And
brilliant.
The best thing about it was people were reacting, like laughy emojis and talking about it in the group. This old lady had no idea until about 3 days later.
So it stayed in the group?
Until about 3 days later, it mysteriously disappeared.
Oh my God, brilliant.
And then we found out what was even funnier was there was a woman who's in the group, is the woman's daughter.
Right.
And she's in the street, but she had left the group in a huff.
Right.
Like one morning because someone had sent something in about, I don't know, but it was on a Saturday at 7 a.m. And this one replied, at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. And they were like, yeah, but just letting people
turn
know
your phone off, love.
We're having some work done. And she went, yeah, at 7 a.m. on a fucking Saturday. And they just left the group. So she must have been woken up by this. But so the two of them
can I go into this group? I just want to be a lurker. Like, just watch the messages.
But it's so great. And then there was another group. I don't know if you saw it. It was just an online group of this woman. It was in like a school parents group about like the class, and she had accidentally sent an intimate photo to the group. And they're like, oh no, Sharon, you've sent the photo in here. You've sent.
Oh no.
Can you please delete? And she's like, I don't know how to do it. And like it was.
Oh, that's horrific.
Yeah, and I think that would be one. I was like, I think I would just leave forever.
Yeah, I have never done anything like that. But the closest I've come to it was right at the start of COVID. You know, when we were all still getting used to being on Zoom and things like that. So both me and Fraser were working at home, and he was working in one of the rooms upstairs, and he was on a Teams call, right, with people he works with, and he'd left, and he was away to get a coffee or something, but he left the meeting, but the meeting was still going on. And it was also the room where I would dry my hair, right? So I didn't know he was working in that room. I came out of the shower, and if the laptop's there, I didn't even look at it. I just walked into the room in a towel, and I started like putting moisturizer on my arms. And these two women were on a Microsoft Teams meeting, just going, Teresa, no, Teresa, like screaming. But because the headphones were in, I could just hear this, and I was putting moisturizer in my hair and then drying my hair. And they thought the next thing it's going to go is this towel. And she's going to have to kill herself because she'll never recover. And just I heard this like tiny wee voice and turned around and I could see the two of them on the screen doing this. And I nearly died. But I was more embarrassed thinking about what could have happened. Yeah. I just that's one where I lie in bed at night going, just imagine, because I work with those people as well. Just like, ta-da! Yeah.
No, that would be like
horrific,
the worst. And like I've had a couple, thankfully never that bad on Zoom calls because I had done one before I left the job and it was during COVID and we were on a call, but then it wasn't Zoom and Zoom's always grand. It was Teams or something, and my computer wasn't like syncing up right, so it was like stalling and it was all freezing, and like it was what's the guy called? It's the top boss, like the head of the company.
Of what company?
There's someone.
I thought you meant someone particular. Yeah.
No, so
chief executive.
Chief executive was on to tell us what a great job we've been doing during COVID. So he was in the middle of a speech, and I was like, a fucking stupid fucking piece of shit frozen me out.
No.
But I didn't realize it was only frozen on my end. So apparently when I'm talking,
the whole company's listening.
The whole screen has highlighted me. I'm front center, this fucking stupid piece of shit. And so he's talking away, and it looks like I'm going, this fucking stupid piece of shit here. And then I get loads of text on the phone and stuff going like, what? Dave. And then I was like, oh my shit. And I turned it off. I had to ring him afterwards to be like, and he goes, I didn't hear what was said, but I could just hear it was straight over me. I
could see your angry face.
And I was like, but apparently, like, to me, it was just my big head froze on this fucking
looking so threatening as well. Oh my God.
And then we were on training not long after that, and I thought I was messaging and the guy I used to work with privately on it, but apparently it was just for everyone to see. And I was like, this is the most boring thing I've ever heard. I've seen more charisma in a flea than this woman taking it and all. She's
to the whole thing.
Yeah, and then it was actually I've
seen people do that too.
It was horrendous. It was a woman I'd worked with, daughter, who worked there too. She's like, Dave, I know you don't really know me, but you're writing this in front of everyone. And I was like, holy shit. And then I just had to pray that she didn't look. Yeah. See, and I don't know.
Delete.
And that's actually the real reason why I do comedy full time now. Not that I'm pursuing the dream. I got sacked. Yeah, so
I So this I don't use that. This is my wee MacBook. I don't use it very often, but I was using it again during COVID. Had a bit of counselling online, right? And it was the first time I'd used this MacBook, and the first time I'd used it for counselling, and the only thing I'd used it for were Zoom family quizzes. So my dad would have done a quiz for all the neighbours and us, and we would have been in. So just for shits and giggles, we'd all be changing our names on Zoom. You know the crack, right? So instead of Teresa, it said whatever. Like I'd be like, oh, today I can't think of what, Paul Daniels. Well,
Paul Daniels.
That's an up-to-date reference. So today I'm Paul Daniels.
That romantic dead by a decade.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so the first counselling session, and I was a bit nervous about it anyway, because counselling's kind of nervous. And I was getting the counselling, by the way. I'm not a counsellor. So.
I was going to say, whoever's getting the counselling there, God love them.
No, it's me getting therapy, which is well needed. So anyway, the therapist came up, and then my camera was off. So my screen name just came up and I couldn't turn my camera on, and I could just hear her going, hello, Teresa, is this you? Because the screen name just said Tits McGee. In just big white letters, right? And she was going, Teresa? And I was like, yes, sorry, I'm here. I just can't turn my camera on. So I got the camera on, and I was like, I sincerely apologise. That was from a family Zoom quiz. And she was like, that's quite all right. So I didn't hear anything she said to me for 10 minutes because all I was trying to do was change my name. And she was like, asking me this question. I was going, yeah, sometimes. And she was like, really? And I was like, sorry, what did you ask? What have I just admitted to? But then all the way through the session, I didn't realise that Siri was turned on as well. So everything I said to this therapist, Siri would go, I'll just look that up for you now.
So she was like, what's going on here?
But she couldn't hear Siri. So she just heard me going, oh God, sorry, can you hear that voice? And she was going, no. And I went, sorry, I'm just going to turn that voice down. And she was just staring at me going,
I need to escalate this up the chain here. This is above my pay grade.
Hitting a button under her desk. Escalate this, please, to somebody. So I was like, so at the very end, I said to her, I was like, sorry about all the interruptions from that voice. And she just went, what voice? I went, oh, Siri was talking to me there. And she was like, oh, thank God. And she was just like, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Like, I don't know. You just seen her hand going, it's voices in her head.
I think we're going to need you to come in person.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it was still Tits McGee, but I think I changed like one letter, like Tots McGee by the end. I was like, I can see you next week.
Because God knows what she expected when the camera came on. If it just Tits McGee, hey, there we go.
Well, what issues would you like to start with, Tits? So...
But no, technology is the worst. For
yes,
that.
I know. And it's only going to get worse because I'm already well behind the curve. But like, yeah, it's going to get worse.
It's going to be like, that film Minority Reports with Tom Cruise. You're going to everyone just being able to get stuff up. Yeah. And it's going to be awful.
It's already like that.
Yeah. I don't like where it's going. I hate though. I sound like a broken record, but James Cameron called it Terminator. It's coming through. Skynet.
Oh God.
Taking over Avatar. See all this. Go outside. A bit of fresh air is good. You don't need to be sitting in the metaverse.
You're such a dad. I love it. Get outside there. Get away from that TV.
But then I find myself saying stuff and I go, oh, catch yourself on. I've done it. I've said it. It's out of me now. It's like, don't be doing that. You'll regret it when you're older. What? Like, what am I, saying all these weird things.
Just comes out of you. Yeah.
It's already done.
Yeah.
Like the other day was like, my Holly was running around in a hoodie in the house. And I was like, get that off you or you won't get the benefit of it when you go outside.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it's all coming for you, Dave.
What the heck? And you try to stop it, but
yeah, you'll be getting them to sort out your IT issues now. That's the reason people have children, I think. It's just like, can you fix this laptop?
Yeah, no, what is actually was really funny was on speaking of technology and kids, Holly had a wee tablet whenever she was a bit smaller. Now she's got an iPad now for work, which I absolutely hate because she texts me and all on it. And like,
who has an iPad
my
for
daughter
work?
who's 7 for school.
For school? When you said she has an iPad for work,
yeah, because
why have you got her working?
She needs to get a timetable for the sweatshop, to make me sandals.
She's a therapist. She's taking sessions from people like me.
But she's on that, so like the odd time, like I'll go downstairs now. She'll send me funny things that, like, I mean, I could show this, but I'll have to find it. It'll be bad podcast content. But there's a video she sent me once. I was out walking the dog. She's like, "Dad, can you please come home? I need breakfast and Mummy's asleep." And it's like, it sounds abusive, but then she'll text me just one word, breakfast. And I'm like, there's no manners here. There's no. But when she was younger, she had a wee tablet, right? And her tablet. She'd like to take the odd photo. So now we have to check to see what they're like taking photos and videos of. There's one I remember like flicking through, and this would have been tablet we'd have sent like to my mum and dad's with her and they're babysitting or whatever. If they want like stick cocoa melon on for her for a wee half hour's piece. And it's one I was flicking through and it's just one video and I could just see like her little bare feet and they were swinging on the toilet. There's her wee feet in the toilet, and I could just hear like water, like running water. And then as I continue watching the video, she lifted it from her feet up into the shower where Catherine was just fully in the shower, everything on show, long boobs, the works, everything's out, and like it was for about 5 minutes. This video was, and she was like, "That's gone to your dad." Like, what if he's seen this? What if? And she was so panicked, and I'm like, I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? This video of just her in the full show, and then Holly just taking a wee video, and it was then her giggling, and then back to her wee feet again.
So she knew what she was doing. Yeah, having a wee laugh about it.
So now we have to check through. Now, luckily, all we get is like
she's got night vision goggles and everything. Like, take them off her.
She's got too much, but she all she has now is like wee weird like on her face, making weird faces and all, like that can, thankfully, no nudity of us and anything like that. But there are sometimes like they'll run around with your phone and take photos and you look through it and they'll catch you and you go, is that really how I look? Gross.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine she's ever got a good angle from the height she's at.
No, nothing ever looks good from that angle.
It's like any photograph of me ever on stage, I'm like, delete. Yeah. I hate it because it's usually always from like worm's eye view. It's horrific.
And sometimes you have to say to people, like, they're like, why didn't you share that? I'm like, because I look fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Do you ever think about that?
I was like, if you could just put a wee filter on that, I might share it. But no, that's horrific.
I look like I've had a breakdown. Like I look like I've had a full...
I always have, because people tend to have photos of me singing, I'm always like this. I always look like I'm in pain, like someone has just kicked me. Yeah. I'm just like, ah. So like there's very few of me just smiling and speaking into a microphone.
And I always never know what to do either, like pose-wise. Because I'm not like a sexy guy where I'd be like,
aren't you?
And then you don't want to go either, because then you
but you reserve that for the ladies in the park.
Yes, I just like, listen, it's okay. I'm not going to touch you. Be safe.
What a lovely. Well, we're going to finish on that. That's a lovely sentiment.
It's good. Be safe.
Dave Elliott will not touch you.
Yes. Be safe.
Dave, thank you so much for coming.
Can I just say to the people coming to the country, you're welcome.
Yes, yes.
Because that did happen to me one day. We were watching music in the park in Bangor, and there was a foreign family had come along, and they would set their stuff down, and I just did move some stuff so they could join us into the space. And I was like, "You're welcome." And then I would find myself saying it too much that it sounded like, "You're welcome. You are welcome. You
in my country.
You are welcome. Everybody welcomes you. Everyone, you are." And they're probably like, we're just back from the holidays.
Yeah.
We just have a tan. Like, I don't know what you're. I'm like, I'm sorry. I've overstepped the mark here.
Oh, right. Well, listen, go and follow Dave on all his social medias and your podcast, and get tickets if there's still tickets available to the Work in Progress on the 17th.
It's very intimate, the Work in Progress.
Very intimate.
Very intimate.
But he will not touch you. You've got that on camera.
Touch you. But I do want to say, if you do want to jump on, I'll set up a wee GoFundMe for paying the ticket that I have for driving in the pedestrian zone to get out here. I'm sure I'll be taken to court about it and probably have the PSNI at my door to be like an alleged jihadist attack. But no. It's
okay. Like he was a dad in the summer holidays.
I was stressed out and I didn't read the signs well. And actually, it was probably my maps that sent me to Antrim first. And then here they're trying to roast me. But thank you very much for having me. It's been a lot of fun and very therapeutic as well.
Good. Yes. Good. I'm glad you benefited from it because you're not getting paid.
That's fair. That's true.